Dolphin Rhino Tutorials. Today I'm going to show you how to make a pair of leather layered earrings. For this tutorial, I have some different leather here. So you can buy these rolls of, it's technically like a polyester fabric, but it has the look of leather. I buy these at Hobby Lobby. And if you wait, generally every other week or every third week, they are 50% off, so you can get a good amount of this for cheap. And like I said, it has that leather look. Or I have actual leather here that I'm going to use as well. Again, they work the same way, but the real leather is a little thicker. But I have fabric scissors to use on all of it. So to start, I'm going to choose what I want to be my base layer of my earring. So I'm going to do this kind of teardrop shape here. And this is a die that I use with my Sizzix machine. So like if you have a metal engraving like press, which again, like the Sizzix, which I can include a link for that. The nice thing about that is you put this with the leather, and when you run it through the machine, as long as it's piled up enough, it will imprint into the leather. Now this fake, faux leather, it will actually cut it for you. The real leather, it's going to have a harder time cutting it, but it will at least imprint it, and then you'll have that shape to cut. So for this, I'm going to use this kind of leopard print as my base. So let me unroll this. Actually, I'm going to use, I lied. See, this leather, or this one here, is a lot thinner. So I'm going to use this one as my base, and then I'll put this one as my next layer, and then this one on top, like that. So to start, what I'm going to do is turn it to the back. I'm going to use my template here, which this is a leather cutting template, so you can see if you were trying to, make the little leather bow, the bows that people make like for little girls' hair, stuff like that. That's what all these are. Let's make some space here. So I want to cut out 2 of these. You can just use a Sharpie, fabric marker. A pen may work, but I'm just going to use a Sharpie because I have it. And I'm going to trace this on here 2 times. And I will cut those out here in just a second. I'm also going to trace it on this. However, I'll show you what's going to be different with these. So I want this to have kind of a chevron. So I'm going to go ahead and trace the whole shape. Like that. But what I'm going to do with one of these is make a shape like that. So what I'm actually going to be cutting out is this part. Let's go. I'm changing my mind here. Let's make this one a little bit longer. In case that bled through, we're going to do one more. This fabric, like I said, is a little bit more thin. Okay, so once I cut that one out, I'll use it to lay on top of this one and make sure that they match. So that is those two, and then once I cut this out, I'm also going to use it on here to determine how much shorter I want this one, because this is going to be my top layer. So to cut these out, let me move this out of the way. You want to get some good fabric scissors. And cut around these in nice, clean lines. And for my students watching, you will be graded on how clean these lines are. So you definitely want to make sure that they're not all jagged. Okay, so when you turn it over from the front, if it looks like there's anything that's kind of uneven, just trim it so that they're nice and straight. Okay, the top you want to make sure comes to a point if you're doing a teardrop shape, like that. Okay, so I've got one done. Let's cut out the other one. Again, just trying to make clean cuts. Sometimes you miss stuff until, and it's hard to see until you turn it over. And you can see. That's what's really nice about using the Sizzix machine. In class, we don't do it just because I feel like that's part of the craftsmanship is having the kids do this by hand versus cheating with the machine. I shouldn't say cheating, because if you have the tool, why not use it? But it's just a skill I like the kids to learn. So let me move this stuff out of the way. So I have my two shapes here. These are the bases for my earrings. And then again, I'm going to put a layer on top that's going to come down to a point like this, and then a third layer that'll be even shorter. So my next layer is the leopard print. I'm going to cut these out off the screen here. I just realized sometimes I get working and don't realize that you can't see what I'm doing. Okay. So with these, I'm going to start by cutting this one out. And actually, I forgot, we're using this shape here. So the idea when we layer these is that they just kind of sit there layered, but you can use a fabric glue or like the some kind of super glue if you want to use that to secure these in place. So that is my next one, and then the black will go on top. So I want to line it up, make sure that there's nothing sticking out, which if I look from the back it looks pretty good. When I put that one on there, and then I'm going to trace my next one here to make sure that they're the same. So remember, I already made the teardrop shape, but I want there to be that same point. And I'm just going to do it kind of lightly. Okay, that's enough so that I can see. So we're going to cut this out. And basically I'm going to repeat the same thing with my top layer. So I'm going to skip ahead on that. When I come back, you'll see my 3 layers. Okay, now that I have my layers cut I'm going to use a leather punch here to make a hole into each part of the leather, so each layer, where I want my jump ring to go. So this is how I'm going to connect them all together, and then we will put the ear wire, earring hook, whatever you want to call it, at the top. You can go through and mark these if you want. I'm going to kind of just eyeball it because I've done this 800 million times. Get a good hole going in there. If you want to loosen up the hole, so if you're ever putting a eyelet, sorry, I couldn't think of the word, you'll want to use a grommet as well and make your holes larger too. So this for the jump ring should work fine, this leather punch. If you don't have access to one of these, you can use just like an awl, which is like, you know, just a pointy jewelry making tool that we use like in glass beads, stuff like that. But you can use that in a mallet and punch a hole. Any kind of sharp, pointy object really will work. I've seen in the past someone use like a push pin. So just be careful when you're working with that. So I'll do the next layer here, which remember this one is much more thin, so I have to be a little more careful. Punch the hole, got it. And then my third one. And I'm kind of doing this a couple times to make sure the hole is good. So from here, I'm going to assemble my earring. I'm going to take a couple pairs of pliers and open the jump ring. And I'm going to put each layer on, making sure that I put them in order. And I have to... I've selected a larger jump ring because you need it to be bigger to allow for the space or that distance between the hole and the top part there. So I'm going to put my next layer on. If I can work while I'm trying to look at the camera and make sure I'm on the screen. Sometimes that's easier said than done. This layer is so much more thin that surprisingly it makes it a little harder to put on there, but we got it. And then the last one, which is the real leather, I'll put that one on. Right now they look crazy. Let me close, actually. Put my ear wire on first, and then I'm going to close up that jump ring. So, get these laying how they need to be. And like I said, if you don't want them to swing around, you can certainly apply a little bit of fabric glue or super glue. And you can see now my ear wire needs turned. Sometimes the way these ear wires are made, it makes it so that your earring would hang sideways. So, all right. So again, I would probably glue those down because that would drive me crazy if they moved around so much. But that is a finished earring. So I'm going to do the other one and then we are good to go. Thanks for watching, you guys. Check back. I have several other earring and just leather jewelry making videos, so make sure you guys check those out. Thanks for watching this video. Make sure you stay connected with Urban Rhino on social media. And don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, comment below, and of course, subscribe to our channel.